of the presentation. Really cool stuff, right? So let's go back just a little bit to a few lessons ago. We were talking about entrepreneurship, and so what was the problem that Harlow was solving? No phones. What was the problem Harlow was solving? In his presentation, what was he telling you? What did he see?
Cards.
What about? But what was the problem? What happened that triggered him to want to do this?
His mom.
Yeah, his mom giving him that note.
Right. So he got a car. He spent a.
But a business person. So remember, I bought an insurance policy. This is money that I've spent, and the business person gives me this to say thank you. So it's not my mom or anything, but this is supposed to say thank you for your business. Thank you for spending money with me, and it was this.
I have a question. Why did you wear that big hat?
Sorry?
Why did you wear that big hat?
Oh, because you missed this. So, Austin, right? Vietnam. This is a typical Vietnamese hat. So I show and tell, visual aid. So this is the kind of hat that's normally worn in Vietnam because it's very bright sun. So it's just to share the story of Vietnam because these are all made in Vietnam.
So
Now I'm back to Austin.
China.
Nope, Vietnam.
so he had something happen to him. Please don't do that. he had something happen to him where he was dealing with a business. He gave them his business, and the thank you was very underwhelming. And he thought there should be a better way to do this. There should be a better way to thank your customers. So the problem he identified was that you need to be able to thank your customers better. And then his solution was what? Really cool pop-up cards that actually. What are some things about the pop-up cards that make them so much better?
Because they show meaning and
They're more meaningful. So right, more meaningful, right? So how long would you keep a card like the one that he first got that caused him to do this? How long would you keep a card like that? Yeah, just okay, thanks, and throw it away, right? How long?
Days, I wanted to just toss it right then. Right? It's almost meaningless. This is so cheap.
When would you throw away one of these if you got it? Never. So from a well, and we'll get into this in the next class, but from a marketing perspective, you've got your name in front of your customer all the time because of something like this. Yeah. So we talked about branding last time, right? So who can tell me what was cool about his branding? No competition. We're actually going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But what was something that happened every time you opened a card?
It was like a surprise.
What did you say?
It would pop out. It was like amazing.
What did you say?
It would pop out on you.
And then what did you say?
Awesome.
You said awesome, right? He branded the word awesome with his cards. Every time you open, he says, open it and say awesome. Open it and say awesome. Super cool, right? So think about these branding things and whenever you're dealing with your business. So we're going to move on to competition. So first off, what is competition? Oh, there we go. People what? Compete against you?
And this.
In anything, just competition.
This like situation is like people like that you're trying to be better than them, like because you have the same idea. You're trying to like get more people to like your studio.
Yes. Anyone else? What else is in competition? It doesn't have to be associated with business. What else is competition? When you hear competition, what do you think of? Race. You might be racing. Sports is great competition, right? So what are some examples of competitors?
Wait, like and this,
In anything.
like football teams.
Football teams. Okay, so what? I couldn't hear what you said. Oh, so Walgreens, CVS. Those are competitors. What are some other competitors you see in business? Walgreens, CVS, we got that one. What else? Yeah, no, that's good. So grocery stores, so HEB and Walmart. Yeah, those are absolutely competitors.
Like Nike and Jordan.
What's that?
Nike and Jordan. I know, like sometimes they're together, but sometimes like Jordan's trying to get you to wear this stuff, but Nike's trying to get you to wear this stuff.
But Nike, Jordans are Nikes. Who are competitors with Nike? Adidas, right? Right, great. So each of you have your business idea, right? Everyone has their business idea solid now? So what's your business idea? You don't have it yet? Raise your hand if you have your business idea, you know what you want to do. Okay, let's go with yours. What?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
What-
I have an art class for kids that don't know how to draw that are in the foster care.
Okay, art class for kids that don't know how to draw, they're in foster care. Great. Okay, so hold on one second. Who would be a competitor of yours? A what?
Another person that's doing art class.
Or just general art classes, stuff like that. Anybody who's teaching art would be a competitor of yours.
I was thinking like
A rescue center for dogs. So who would be competitors for you? Well, ASPCA, other shelters would be competitors, right? What was yours that you wanted to say?
Mine was a program for single foster parents.
Program for single foster parents. Great. Okay, so what would be a competitor for you? So sometimes we don't know, right? Sometimes we're not quite sure. So like for example, Harlow didn't have any competition, right? We're going to actually go into where he does have competition. So we have direct versus indirect. Can someone tell me what the difference is between direct competition and indirect competition is?
one's
Direct is like
directly at you and one's like
they're going against you.
like specific like one company is specifically like trying to be better than you instead of like indirect is like trying to be better than everybody.
So close, but we'll get to that. So direct competition is Nike versus Adidas. They're selling shoes, I'm selling shoes, you're selling shoes. We're selling the same thing and we're competing directly for someone who's wanting to buy shoes, right? Or whatever happens to be. So direct competitors, Uber and Lyft, right? They are direct competitors. You either call an Uber or you call Lyft, and it's the same thing, same service. And was that? I couldn't hear you.
What about tax?
Okay, so taxis actually probably are direct competitors, right? So some indirect competitors for Uber and Lyft. What do you think would be an indirect competitor? For Uber and Lyft, the Uber and Lyft are direct competitors. What do you think would be an indirect competitor? What? If you own your own car, you drive yourself, right? Your option of getting somewhere. Uber and Lyft are trying to get you from one place to another. So they're competing indirectly with you in your own car. What else? How about riding a bus? What about biking? Exactly. What about just walking? So let's look at Harlow's business, right? His direct competitors of people who make pop-up cards, there aren't any, right? So what are some of his indirect competitors? People who make regular cards. That would really not apply as an indirect competitor. But people who make regular cards would be an indirect competitor. What else would be an indirect competitor? If you're giving this as a gift, as a thank you, what else can you give as a thank you? You could give a present. You could give what? Yeah, that's true. Or what about flowers? What about chocolates? What about anything like that? So those are all teddy bears, right? So those are all indirect competitors to what Harlow's doing, because if you're going to spend $5 on a gift for somebody, you have a lot of different options you could spend that $5 on. Now, when you look at it from that perspective, Harlow's competing with a whole lot more people for the $5 to give as a gift, right? So that's direct versus indirect competition. So I got a couple definitions here for you, but so a direct competitor is a company, service, or product that is in direct competition with your company, product, or service. So AT&T versus T-Mobile versus smaller carriers, right? So indirect is a competitor of a company, product, or service or option that a potential customer has as an alternative to your company, product, or service. So like we said, ride a bike versus take an Uber, make food at home versus buying lunch at a restaurant, saving your money versus buying clothes. Does it say coffee? I don't know. Oh, it's a reflection. So who else has their business set up or has their business idea? What was your business idea?
I changed it, but let me find it.
What is this?
It's just like, I don't know, a place for people to have fun and eat
So you're talking about like a restaurant?
So you've got a place for people to have fun and eat. So they have eating and eating, entertainment, stuff like that, right? Okay, so raise your hand if you would go to a place like that.
I was.
Yeah, so Frankie's idea is he has a venue, a place where you can go, you can eat, you can have fun, there's stuff to do. Who would like to go to a place like that?
Can I
Right?
bring my dog?
Can you bring your dog? Yes, you can. Okay, so let's come up with some direct competitors for Frankie's business. Who would be a direct competitor?
Other people who are doing the same thing. Like restaurants who let dogs in.
So,
That's basically the same.
so restaurants would give me a restaurant that allows dogs.
I don't know.
Hat Creek Burgers, right?
Pass.
What are some other direct competitors? What do you like to do for fun? Give me one thing you like to do for fun. Okay, so
I have one.
yep. Play volleyball? Great. So where can you go play volleyball in Austin? Sand court at the park? What about, are there any restaurants you can do that? Yes, there are.
There are?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There's a place called Aussie's downtown that has volleyball and food and drinks, everything. Yeah. So I'll tell you after the class. I'll give the address. So Aussie's would be a competitor for you, right? A direct competitor. Now, who can name what would be an indirect competitor for Frankie's business?
Me.
McDonald's.
Wait, McDonald's don't have
McDonald's is really more direct because it's focused around eating, even though and McDonald's has playgrounds, right? So that would be really more of a direct competitor.
playgrounds for insanity.
So think about what you're using your time with. Hey guys, think about how you use your time. For Frankie, you're going to eat and be entertained, right? So a dog park might be an indirect competitor. It's how you use your time, right? So you could go to a football game instead, right? Or you could go to a concert. So all different things we can compete. Who else's business is set up? Or can someone give me another one? What's yours? You don't want to say it yet? Okay. All right, so we'll move on. So we talked about this, I think, a little bit last time. Fast, cheap, and high quality, right? Did we talk about that last time? So this is what's called the project management triangle. Hey guys, can I get your eyes up here, please? This is called the project management triangle. So in business, you can be fast, or you could be high quality, or you could be expensive or cheap, right? There's a quality issue, there's a speed issue, and there's a cost issue, right, that you're dealing with. So in business, it's very rare that any company can be all three of these things. So generally, companies are either one or two of these. So can someone give me an example of a company that is high quality? What do you think of high quality? Capital One Bank, high quality, right? What's another example of a company that's high quality? Pete's Coffee, Gucci, right? Okay, so let's take Gucci. So is Gucci expensive or cheap?
That's expensive.
It's expensive, right? So Gucci has chosen high quality. Now, how easy is it to find Gucci?
Like there's barely any.
So you can't get it very quickly, right? So Gucci for you guys, has got one of these that's high quality. And then because it's high quality, it can't be cheap and it can't be quick, right? So can someone give me an example of a business that is fast and cheap?
Business that's fast and
McDonald's. Is McDonald's high quality? No. Right, but they're fast and cheap. They've chosen two of these, right? We're going to be fast, we're going to be cheap, and no one looks at McDonald's and goes, man, that's some really high quality food, right? So Frankie, your business. What would you think yours is?
Most likely cheap and hopefully fast, and if not fast, then high quality. I'll try to make it high quality.
So you can make yours cheaper and high quality, but it may take you a while, and people are going to have to wait, which actually might be a good strategy for you because you want people to hang out and enjoy into their time there, right?
Another place that's high quality and good is Jimmy John's. What she said that she didn't want to say.
Oh, Jimmy John's? Yeah. Okay, so fast and cheap. McDonald's, fast and high quality.
Jimmy John's. Place my flower shine. I don't know.
Amazon. What's Amazon famous for?
Like it has two little.
Amazon is actually probably one of the closest to being able to do all three of these, right? Because you think you think of high quality, but it's really they're a service that's providing other people's products and stuff to you, but they are fast and they are generally cheap, right? But you're getting a high quality product. That's why they're so successful, because they've actually one of the few companies that have managed to do all three of these. So fast and high quality is FedEx, right? Is FedEx cheap? What's a much cheaper way you can get a product somewhere? No, I mean if you're sending, like FedEx is shipping, right? So if I buy this hat and I want to send it to you and I want to get it to you fast, it's going to be expensive, right? Well, how else can I get that hat to you?
The owl. You have to give an owl.
It's the
Post office?
yeah.
So post office is slow
Really
and it's cheap. So in comparing to FedEx, it's doing the same service but with a different focus on what they're focusing on. So when you're competing with other companies, guys, you need to think about which of these two you want to focus on and what the two that your competition is focusing on, so you can differentiate yourself from your competition. So if we look at FedEx, if I need something to get there fast and reliably and I can track it and I know it's going to get there, I'm going to go with FedEx and I'm going to spend the extra money. But FedEx is competing with the post office, and if I go, hey, I don't really need it to get there fast, it's okay if they happen to lose it or if it takes a long time, but I just don't want to spend a lot of money on it. And so that's how they're competing with each other to provide the same service with different parts of that triangle. High quality and cheap, this is hard. And when I made this presentation, the example, I was like, oh, I need to think of one. And I put a filler in there and I forgot, I forgot to put it up. So can anyone think of something that is high quality and cheap? That might take a long time.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, that might take a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know either.
I can think of one. Harlow's Cars. High quality, and it's really very inexpensive, right? For $5 or $6 a card, that sounds like very reasonable to me, very, very inexpensive. But he has them made in Vietnam, has to ship them over here, it takes a while, right? So now I have my example as your company is going in this presentation.
Are you gonna pay him?
So let's talk about y'all's businesses for a minute, right? So here's the things that you guys need to think about whenever your business idea is coming together. So by the way, raise your hand, you don't have to talk about your business right now, but raise your hand if you know what you want your business to be when you get out of this class, at the end of this class. So you know what it is? Everybody knows what they want to do. Okay.
Well, we have to come up with it today.
No, you need to already have it because we're working on each of it all the way through, right? Because you're going to give your presentation at the end of the class. So, no, at the end of on the very last class. So, what areas of the triangle do you want to focus yours on? Do you want to be? Oh yeah, sure.
Do we have to do a presentation on this? Or do you want-
You do a presentation on your company, your business idea at the end on the last day.
What do we do then?
We'll in 2 classes, I'm going to give you an example. So, I actually might run through an example for you today if we have time. That way you can be thinking about it.
It's in here. I forgot it. That's why I write things down.
Awesome. So, all right. So in your business, what do you want to focus on of those 3 things? Do you want to be fast, high quality, cheap? What are the important parts of that triangle? Speed, quality, and price. What?
Mine's not really a price.
Okay. So, what's the most important thing for you to focus on?
High quality.
High quality. Okay. Let's go around everybody. What in your business? Pick one. You want high quality, price, or speed? What do you want to focus on in your business? High quality. High quality. High quality. Speed. In your business, what do you want to focus on? Quality, speed, or price? Speed. Quality. Quality, speed, or price? What's most important for you for your business? Speed? Price? Quality? Price. Okay, so everybody's business here has a different primary focus, right? So you're going to look at what your competition is going to do. So you're going to think of your closest competitors, and you're going to think about what do they focus on. So if you focus on, what do you say that you're focusing on? Was quality or yours price, right? So your competitors, are they focused on price, or are they focused on quality, or are they focused on speed? And you don't have to know that yet. I mean, different competitors are going to be focused on different parts, right? So let's look at the clothing business. Let's look at clothes just in general. So, how many different companies make clothes? A lot, right?
Nike makes clothes, shoes.
So, are there companies that make clothes that focus on price, quality, speed?
Yeah.
So give me one that focuses on price.
Gucci.
Well, no, let's think about price like being inexpensive, right? If you need a shirt that's inexpensive, where do you go?
Oh, I know.
Goodwill. Wow, that's awesome. Old Navy. Inexpensive, right? But it serves the same purpose. What about for high quality? Where would you go for high quality clothes? Where? Nike?
Oh, I know. Hold up. I'm switching my beamer, right? For a high quality, right?
High quality clothes. Where do you go?
To the mall.
To the mall. What store?
Wait. It's called, wait, hold up, Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret.
I don't go to Victoria's Secret for clothes.
Okay, so so all right, so guys, so there's different ones. So if you're a company, if you're a clothing, hey guys, listen up. Guys, listen up. So if you're a company that makes clothes and you're focusing on being cheap, making cheap clothes, how do you compete? What's your messaging and how do you compete differently with a company that's focused on high quality clothes?
High quality clothes is Victoria's Secret, high quality.
Well, no, if you're a company that sells inexpensive, guys, eyes on me, please. If you're a company that focuses on selling clothes cheaply or very inexpensive, how do you compete with a company that sells clothes that are very expensive and high quality? What's your messaging? What do you do differently? What do you tell your customers?
Here.
Thanks for shopping.
Is what?
Thanks for your money, knock it out.
It's fast, but we're inexpensive, right? So if you're going to buy a shirt, and I want you to buy my shirt, and not the really high quality shirt, what do I say? How do I get you to buy that?
Thanks for the money.
It's inexpensive. It's easy to get. Yes.
You could be like, this is cheaper, like it's 50.
Wait, what am I saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You can basically you're stressing that this is an inexpensive. You can get a lot more clothes for your money.
Yeah,
So you say, okay, well, you can buy 10 of my shirts for the same price as one of this other person's shirts. So maybe you're selling yourself to you're competing with them by saying, look, you can have a whole lot more variety, you have a whole lot more options than just spending a whole lot of money on one shirt, right? So you also need to think about is the competition what's your indirect and direct competition? Because you have to convince customers to spend their money, right? So when you're in your business, you need to be thinking about what's your business? The rescue shelter for dogs, right? So what is going to make someone come to your rescue shelter versus going somewhere else?
Giving them a good price.
Giving them a good price. Okay, so and why do you want to give them a good price? Nobody wants what?
Nobody wants to like go to because like animal shelters are not supposed to be that much money. So like
Because you're doing a good service, you're saving an animal, right? And so you don't want it to be a barrier. You don't want money to be a barrier for someone to save a dog. That's fantastic. All right, hey guys, we're going to take a short break to get food. So everybody, food's over here.